That's it.
I like it.
This is it. Episode number 8?
Number 8.
Let's go. Episode number 8. Just me and RaShaun.
Oh, yeah.
Flying solo.
We got it.
We do. We do got it. So what's the rundown? What do we got going on today?
Well, we start off with featured SDR or BDR, which we got RaShaun.
Oh, that's an easy one. He's right here.
Hey.
It's RaShaun from work.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be back.
So I guess this is where I do my short little intro. RaShaun has been lighting up the dashboard. It's almost like we pay him to do that. Like he's lighting it up. And the reason why I really wanted him to come on the podcast today is he is handling our very first client in the HVAC industry. And not only did he set, a handful of great appointments last month, I think he actually had his first deal close.
I did.
Deal close.
Yeah. We're starting up on week number 6 together, actually, and we got a proposal out. I hadn't found out the numbers yet, so I was waiting for my client to give me a call back, and he ended up emailing me Friday night after I got home and said that proposal ended up closing. They sent it out to him, so.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was really exciting. He was excited about it. It was our very first one. So we ended up closing that one. It's a quarterly preventative maintenance plan with a church that I set up a couple weeks ago. So it closed for $555 quarterly.
Sheesh.
So really excited for the first one. I know we got a couple more out there that I set up for him that looks like we have a good shot at closing those as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some more that roll in.
So tell me, what is it like? You're calling in an industry with a company that, no one has ever done before. Mm-hmm. So there's no scripts, there's no best practices, there's no, hey, look for this type of stuff.
Yeah.
So what was it like starting completely from a blank slate up until not, you hit your minimum, but now you have your first closed deal under your belt too.
Yeah.
So, in the past 6 weeks, you've kind of had to just figure it out. Where did you start?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, starting out with the pitch, came to you, tried to get some pointers from you just to kind of get a feel for what that pitch should look like. Obviously, I've called on roofing, janitorial, IT, all the other ones. And so trying to figure out this one was a little bit different just because, it's not like you're just going to be doing a walkthrough or anything like that, Yeah. And so, going back and forth with you to, kind of fine-tune that pitch. And then my client relationships, with Georgina and Pat have been great. They've helped me out a lot as far as, some of the lingo, kind of what to expect from some of these calls. And so they've been vital to my success as well. And so I know they kind of helped me get a better grasp of, what they offer and what that should look like. And some of the, rejections that I would get from people when I spoke with them. So just like kind of, for example, with people, they're like, oh, we had some service done already. Yeah. We can pivot and say, something's going to pop up again. And, what we can do is still give you some numbers for a preventative maintenance plan to help cut those costs on, service calls. And, you have that for the next time something happens.
It's really interesting that you say that. I would say our competition, our peers even, other sales folk, they hear that someone has already done it. They've already done the thing. I got a new roof. I've got an IT company. I've got a preventative maintenance plan already in place. RaShaun, thanks, but no thanks.
Right.
And a lot of people see that as a dead end. I think that's one of the unique things about the way we think about sales is that person's a buyer.
Right.
That person bought. He just didn't buy from you.
Right.
He just didn't buy from you. And that's one of the most important things that we do here, where it's like you kind of dig just a little bit deeper. And if you're a client watching this, or if you're a potential prospect watching this, it's good. Our guys here and gals here, they fight for the next appointment, but also they're diving a little deeper. Yeah. If someone has already bought the same good or service that you're trying to sell them, that means you're on the right track. You're targeting the right people. They just didn't buy from you. Right? That's awesome. Is there anything, I guess, starting out in the HVAC, being the first guy, is there anything that surprised you?
I wouldn't say. Well, I guess kind of. It's a little different, obviously, from my other industries that I call for. I feel like people, when it comes to the HVAC world, are a little bit more receptive. And the reason I say that is, I know my clients pointed it out to me. You know, a lot of people, whenever they are a buyer or they've already got something in place, they typically want or will take on multiple bids at a time. And so, that's kind of how I got one of my appointments. Is they already had something in place, but they know that something always pops up. The company they were using, they've had issues in the past with, service calls. They weren't able to come out that same day, so they didn't have anybody else they could call. So they're always willing to take on, more than just one bid.
That's funny. That happened to us here too.
Yeah.
The HVAC provider that we use, we literally had to call through a list of companies because no one wanted to come out here.
Yeah.
No one wanted to service a 60,000 square foot building with a HVAC unit the size of a small Ford Festiva outside. No one wanted to do that because it was too much hassle.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, you find out that if you are simply just willing to do the work, I think we've talked about this in a few other podcasts. If you were literally just willing to do the work and do a good job, like you're already, 5 or 6 cuts above what you're up against.
Yeah.
So that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny because that's what we preach, and it's funny that starting out in a new industry, that's kind of what you see too.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's why people work with us. The secret sauce is literally just being personable, working hard, in good faith for your clients, and,
Right.
and good things happen. So RaShaun's one of the best, man. He's got great relationships with almost all of his clients. Pretty much always hits his numbers, and look at that, he's trailblazing in a brand new industry.
Yeah.
It's just like we thought he would. That's great. So what else we got on deck?
Then we're moving forward to sales development rundown with Cam Carlson.
Yeah, sales development rundown. We had a really good end of the month last month. I think we got a total of, it was like 28 or 29 signed agreements back in to cap off the month. I think we actually moved forward with right around 20 of those. So we had 7 fall off. Either we didn't move forward with the relationship, or we decided not to execute our half of the agreement, for a variety of reasons. But mostly we want to protect the people working on those accounts. We want to make sure that, their expectations are reasonable, and that, anyone we bring on board, we're confident that we can deliver for. And so I think we went plus 14. We had 7 accounts fall off. We brought in 21, one of those onboarding so far this month. So yeah, really, really strong production month from the new business squad. And then, ebbs and flows of sales. So as you start popping off on deals, obviously it required a volume of appointments to get there. And now we're kind of in a little bit of an ebb, trying to get back into the flow. Mm-hmm. And so, we're not unique to any other sales organization out there. We're not unique to the times. It happens when you deplete your leads, when you deplete your sales opportunities, you always need to backfill with more. So now we're in the backfilling stage where we're creating new records. I've got a nice little case study here for our HVAC folks to go out and get some HVAC appointments. I'm pretty sure that we've got CMO exclusively focusing on building HVAC appointments and using your success, RaShaun, as kind of the hook, the bait. We can do this for you too. It only took 6 weeks. So that's really good. Everything kind of working lock and step with each other right now, Chew. It's great. Do you have on your agenda that it was the start of our fantasy football league here at Arsenal?
No, let's go ahead and talk about it.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. I'm glad you did. Because RaShaun and I played each other this week. And, if we had chalked it up after Friday night, you would say
Cam would win.
I had a great week. But, of course, they play on Sunday, too, and on Monday, which RaShaun already beat me. He doesn't even need tonight.
I got a little nervous at first. I thought Cam had me, especially after Friday.
Saquon.
Saquon had a massive game.
Love you. God bless. If you could do that again this next week, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. I had a guy named Cooper Kupp on my team.
Cooper Kupp.
Did wonders.
And who's that other guy? Who'd you have? Dropped 21 on me.
I had Dallas Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey dropped 21 points for me.
21 points from a kicker. Are you kidding me? That is ridiculous.
So I drafted him.
Someone needs to check the league points. Who does that? Oh, it's
That's me.
Also me and you. Yeah. Damn it.
So,
It's brutal.
speaking of starting off fantasy football, what are the rules for who loses?
Okay, so it was a $50 buy-in.
Yep.
We've got 10 people. I think, what does the winner get? $350?
I think it's 300.
300?
Yeah, 300, 150, and then 50.
That's right. 300, 150. That's right. So first place gets 300, second place gets 150, and then third place gets their money back.
Yep.
Okay, that's how the payouts work. We've got a lower division too, to where if the winner of the lower division wins, obviously they'll get promoted up into our 10-man league, and that lower division could be 14, 16, 20, 32 people. We don't care. It's a bloodbath. And then the loser of our league gets demoted. So it's kind of like the Champions League or the Premier League in soccer.
Similar.
Where you do well, you get bumped up to the big boys, or if you do bad, you get relegated. Yeah. And so ours works like that too. But then this year, we decided to add, we usually do some kind of punishment.
Yeah.
In the past, we did karaoke. I forget what the other, nine dogs, 9 beers, and 9 innings. We've mulled over sending someone to a WNBA game by themselves. Those are all really good ideas. But we decided on something else this year. Do you remember?
Yeah.
What is it?
I believe we did the open mic night.
Open mic night.
Yeah.
So every Thursday, you might have already seen him on a previous podcast next to Tudo. He does stand-up comedy every Thursday night at Steve's Hot Dogs in South County. And it starts at 8. You don't ever know when Nick's going to go on. It could be 8. It could be 11. You don't know. You just got to stand outside in the cold and eat hot dogs and drink beer until he goes on.
Yep.
But if you lose the Fantasy Football League this year, you've got to go do a set of stand-up at Steve's Hot Dogs. I'm pretty excited. I kind of want to throw. I've been wanting to do this. I just need a reason. And I'm already on one. So we're on the way.
Hey, it's one step closer to open mic night.
Thanks. You're really helping me achieve my dreams over here. That's great.
It'd be great.
So yeah, we're pretty excited. The boys are fired up. We had a couple of big preseason trades already. Obviously, we saw the collapse of Deshaun Watson. That was hard to watch. Some will claim that it's an offensive line issue.
Yeah, some certain people in the office.
Regardless, it's tough to watch. It's pretty hard to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. Arsenal softball's 2-0.
Oh yeah.
We won both the games last week.
Yeah.
So we got another couple of games tomorrow night.
Yep, we got delayed games tomorrow, 8:30, 9:30.
Yep, 8:30, 9:30. Be great. We've got the Missouri State Career Fair tomorrow during the day, and then I'll drive back up and play softball. So if you're down there in Springfield, come check us out. We'll be at the Student Union tomorrow from 10 to 2. Feel free, come by, say hey. If you watch a podcast, I'll sign something for you maybe.
What kind of candidates are you looking for tomorrow?
That's a great question. So the type of candidates we're looking for, really a wide range. I mean, anything from an 8-week internship. If you're at one of our satellite offices, we can look at you for part-time. So either at Maryville, obviously down there in Cape at SEMO, and then, I believe Columbia is one of our secondary goals to get one established here by the end of the year. But anything from internship credits, intern hours, part-time, and then of course, kind of the full shebang would be a full-time role here. There's no experience needed. You joined us.
Yep.
And what were you doing?
I was bartending before.
Yeah, we love us some bartenders. They know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
If you have sales experience, I want you to take a look at us, obviously, but I really want you to make sure that this is your sales home. Oftentimes when people have other sales gigs, other places, you may bring bad habits, you may bring poor confidence. Those are some of the things that we can definitely work with you on. But, most of the time I'm looking for someone who has no experience. They've got a hopeful attitude. They're hard workers. That's really about it. Obviously a good speaker, but it's not even a requirement. We can help you with those things. As long as you've got a good attitude and a good work ethic, that's somebody that we want to talk to. And then a couple other kind of ancillary positions. So we're looking for a recruiter as well, maybe accounts receivable or CFO here in the short term. And then, maybe an extra set of hands behind the goggles back there too, huh? Could use a little bit of everything. So if you like what we do, if you've seen any of our content, you think you can contribute at all, I'd love for you to come out, submit an application. We'll talk to just about anybody. It's great.
All right, so we'll kind of leave it off with, do you have any business growth or sales tips, advice, bonuses you could tie in a recent example?
Sales tips, sales advice. Yeah. There's a ton. Do you have one that comes to your mind from anything that's happened recently?
For me, I know I'm big on, my relationships with my clients.
Yeah.
I think that it's safe to say, I'll brag on myself and say that, I'm a people's person. I like to build those relationships, especially with my clients. Because we say it all the time, that's how you track your money.
Yep.
And so making sure that I'm constantly talking with my clients through the good, the bad, the ugly, you know. So no matter if I'm hitting the numbers for them or if I am hitting the numbers, I'm constantly texting them, calling them, whatever it is, just because, when you have that constant communication, it essentially it helps you out in the long run, And so I think that's why I've been able to, get some of these quality appointments closed, or kind of pick their brains and figure out exactly what they're looking for or understand their business better. And so I think that has been very vital to my success with my clients. Just getting to know them on a personal level versus just all business.
Yeah, I would piggyback off that. I think here at Arsenal we're in a unique position. Not a lot of other companies where you're actually doing the work for the client. Do you have direct access to communicate with the client? I think it's one of the things that makes us really special here. But also it gives the client some insight into what your rep is doing, but also, how they feel about certain things, what they're good at, what they're not good at. Same thing for the rep to the client. What services are you good at? What aren't you? That really does go a long way. And maybe even they have, a special relationship with someone that you're trying to go after.
Yeah.
Maybe they know somebody, they went to a networking event. I can't tell you how many times I called up my client and I'd be like, hey, I'm really trying to get this one in. Do you know these guys? Do you know anything about them? It was like, oh yeah, that's actually my second cousin. We went to their wedding down in Mexico last year. It's like, oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, that's a great icebreaker.
Yeah.
Right. So there's tons of things that kind of unlocks with the more client dialogue that you have. Yeah, I think that's a great one. And even one step farther too is working with them to close business.
Yeah.
The way we get paid. So, we either get a revenue share, a cut of, and by we, I mean the reps doing the work. We'll get 10% if it's recurring revenue, 5% if it's a one-time project. And then the other side of the coin is a flat rate option where Arsenal bonuses them internally if they hit our minimum appointment goal in quality score. And so, what you see, what the result is a team of people whose interests are aligned with their client. And whether you're in digital marketing or graphic design or sales or, you work for another agency, it's not often that the process isn't just transactional.
Yeah.
I've given you $5,000 a month. Now, RaShaun, please go get me 5 appointments. RaShaun's out here asking, okay, what kind? Do you want service agreements? Do you want repairs? Do you want replacements? Do you need 5-night-a-week cleaning, or can you take 3-night-a-week cleaning? 10,000 square feet or more, could we bump it up 50,000? I think you've got a client who's got a square footage requirement. 150,000 square feet per quarter needs to be booked, and you hit that in
One appointment.
Yeah, one meeting. So it's really interesting to kind of get a gauge of what their expectations are, and then oftentimes exceed those expectations because we have some of that nuanced information about the client and a relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's cool. It's really cool. What else you got for us, Chew? I think there's a debate happening.
Yeah,
tomorrow, tonight,
or
tomorrow.
I believe tomorrow.
During softball.
It might be.
Oh well, I'll miss that, but maybe we'll put it up in the dugout or something. I don't know.
Have somebody bring their MacBook.
Do they have weird rules or something? I saw a couple headlines about how Kamala's agreeing to the rules and, she wants to do it so she can debate Trump. Do you know anything about that? I think it had to do with muting the mics.
Oh.
Trump didn't want to mute the mics in between.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Come on. Let's be honest. Some people probably care more than others about who wins the next election. I will just be happy for it to be over.
Yeah.
But the best parts were the debates. I mean, Shane Gillis had it right. Regardless of whatever happens in the future, we always need to roll Trump out there for the debates. It was just a good time. How can you hear him? How can you push back if you're muting his mic in between? Entertainment value alone, I think. That's a good call.
I thought it was hilarious in the first one.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Through the roof.
Started talking about golf.
Honestly, I thought that was like the best part of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wow, they're two human beings. Finally.
Arguing on who can carry their own bag.
Yeah. That's funny. I don't think either could.
No.
Have you
not a
carried
chance.
your bag recently?
I'm not a big golfer, and no, I have not.
Dude, it's kind of hard. I got through 9 a couple weeks ago, and I was walking.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. Like, my bag was on fire. Like, it was awful.
Yeah, nah, I'll pass.
No pull cart, no cart at all. I just raw dogged it and walked.
Hey, every time I've golfed, and it's probably been like 3 times. I've
Right.
always been on a cart.
You're probably still better than me.
Probably not.
I'm so bad. I'm so bad.
My athleticism does not translate to the golf course.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, can't win them all, RaShaun. There's the hook.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting kicked off.
It's been fun.
It's over. I'll leave you on this. They say that you need to work harder, not smarter. Or they'll say the opposite too. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
What if you do both? Work smarter and harder.
Yeah. Success.
Go figure. Clip it. That's the name of the podcast this week. Work smarter and harder.